That's really a good thing. Thank you. Okay, so let's start. I know there's only like one of us here, but that's okay. You guys are going to watch this on video. Awesome. This is your Easter decorating class. And so tonight we're going to go through, I'm going to make icing. I'm going to show you the consistency I use for the different areas of flooding, of details, and writing. And we're going to color the icing, going to bag it, and then we're going to decorate the cookies. So we have lots of different cookies to show. I have the cookies that I showed in the the flyer. But then I also made up some egg shaped, which you can completely do circles or squares, and we can do some fun little designs on them. I had one that I was kind of playing with, and I was waiting for him to dry. But there's all sorts of fun little things we can do. So you never have to buy the cutters. I am a slate cutter junkie. However, I also do tons of stuff just on circles, squares, and regular shapes, because sometimes you don't want to invest in 400 cutters. And that's why you have these nifty little markers, and then you can go and you can write and you can outline on the stuff. So I am going to, I am going to switch the camera view. So then I'm going to take you over here, and I'm going to figure out how to switch this view, which now I don't think. Okay, so now I'm going to go, and I'm going to take you over here. Come with me, and we are going to make icing, just so you can see how the icing goes. Okay. So in here, I have 2 pounds of confectioner's sugar. Did you see it took me a moment? I have 2 pounds of confectioner's sugar, and I have meringue powder. I personally, due to my area, I use 60 grams just because my area just requires it, but everyone's is different. Also, I am a huge procrastinator, so the more meringue powder you have, the quicker it dries. So, okay. So I will start the mixer. Hopefully he'll switch the view back over again since I can't reach it now. And I will add water. It is usually about a half a cup, but I'm going to be super, super honest. I do find, depending on what your temperature is outside, and if it's humid or not, sometimes it needs more, sometimes it needs less. And I kind of just do it by feel and see what it needs. And then also I wanted to show you, if you put too much icing in, too much water in, how to fix it. Because I feel like that's a huge problem that people have, is they're like, oh my gosh, I've put in so much water, and now look I'm like a sloppy mess. And you don't want it to be that. So I really did do it on purpose. So honestly, all you do, the beauty of royal icing is this. You go back and forwards with sugar. You can go more sugar if you need it tighter, more water if you need it looser. So that's all you have to do. So you never have to really freak out that, oh my goodness, I have put too much water in, or oh my goodness, I have been too much sugar in, like I need it looser, I need it tighter. You can go both ways. And royal, I've also learned the way that I have done royal. Also, just so you know, I usually work with it in 4-pound increments. So this is the smallest bowl ever for me, because I'm usually a minimum of 4 pounds, and I usually make between 25 to 35 pounds of it at a time. And royal icing, you don't need to have it mixed for a long time. You just need it to really incorporate. And that's the key to it. If it's incorporated, you've got it. So let's go like this. Let me move my mixer. And I know Angela's here, but if anyone has any questions, definitely do not be afraid to stop me and ask. It's like trying to move.
There's a few people that are saying they're having a hard time finding the class.
Are they? Well, that will be. Thank you, Angela. That will be Christy. Christy, get on that. where do you think they all are? Do you think they forgot to go to like the home baker's website?
I bet they did because I usually forget.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's tricky, and everyone is, I don't know. It's kind of super funny. Okay, so look, I have icing that I also want to show you. If you flip it back to the other camera, which I have a spoon that fell and got stuck. But if you see, I have icing that I made a couple days ago. So I want to show you this also because I feel like this is so important. Because I have icing that I made a few days ago, and as you can see, it separates. But all you have to do is mix it together to reconstitute it and have it go, and you're like, oh, win-win. I won't lose it. It looks like it's lost, but once you start mixing it, you're like, score, it's right back again. All right, let me move this up so you can see everything. Okay, switch me over here. Let's switch over to this one. There you go. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I have tons of colors of icing and stuff, but the best part of what we're gonna do is I'm going to mix a bunch of colors so that we can, of course, decorate our cookies. And mixing icing is probably everyone's least favorite because it just takes forever. And you feel like, oh, I'm standing here and I'm doing, and I'm like, you know, what are you gonna do? But it is what it is. So I put it in a bowl and I mush it around. I really wanted to show you this because I wanted you to see that as long as you reconstitute it, it goes right back together. Because I feel like the icing with the meringue powder doesn't go bad. I mean, you can keep it quite a while without it going bad as long as it's in airtight space. And it's nice and it's beautiful. See? Beautiful, beautiful icing. Okay. So hopefully Christy has figured out where everyone is. And then they were all happy that they got found.
Yeah, I think we got everybody squared away.
Oh, good. All right. I'm so glad everyone is here. I'm going to lean this over just so you can see, because all I'm doing, which you can go back and see, I've done nothing exciting without you. I have just been making icing. It is nothing super, super exciting, but I'm just getting the icing to where I want it to be. And my biggest thing when I'm mixing icing is that I want to be able to shake my bowl and it self-levels. And if it does that, then it's there. If it doesn't, then I just add, you know, a little bit of water at a time. Because yes, you can go backwards and forwards with it. You can make it loose, you can make it thick, but you know, no one wants to keep doing that over and over and over again. So, okay.
Karen's here.
Hello, Karen. All right. So the other thing I do is I get to see, like, this is not the consistency I want, but like I've said before, I get to my consistency after I color it because the liquid of the dyes of the colors, so this is going to be yellow I'm going to do, it will thin the icing as well, and I don't want to over liquefy it, so I will get to the proper color and then I will loosen it. Okay.
So Melissa,
Yeah.
can you explain to everybody, you had originally put in the 60 grams and then you kind of added the water and added the powdered sugar to get it to the right consistency. Is there ever a time that you can put in too much water and or both powdered sugar, that the 60 grams won't be sufficient?
You can, but you shouldn't be going that far. I'll be honest with you, when I poured my water, because I always measure it, I had it measured for 4 pounds of sugar, which is the only reason why. So for me, for that batch, I'll go back and I will double my powdered sugar, and I will double my meringue powder. But if you ever go and you go too far with it, where you're adding way too much powdered sugar and way too much meringue water, then yeah, you don't have enough meringue powder to have it hardened properly so that you can stack it and bag it and all of that. So we have yellow. Okay. And onward to more colors. All right, so I always do keep it covered, because the key thing for, as we know, is air, makes it harden. It's good stuff. Okay, so now we're gonna go and I'm gonna make, I have green, I'm gonna make pink. I have this pink, but I don't like this pink. And I have it just left over from a different project. So I'm gonna kind of cut the edge off, and I'm gonna just put a little bit in, because I really would like a very light pink, like a little blushy pink. And I think that's also the fun part, is that you can really, you can make colors whatever you want. I love to color. I would love for someone to sit here and do all of this for me, but I do love coming up and figuring out what colors I love and things like that. So I like the color pink, but honestly, I do know that I will have to do more. And this pink is a Dusty Rose from AmeriColor. And sometimes I feel like that Dusty Rose can be like very dusty. So I don't know. But as you see, if I shake it, he's not self-leveling. So now I will just add a little, literally a little bit. Now, some people will do droppers, and see this, and see if you feel like you've added too much. Before you mix it, you can pour it out. Some people do spray bottles. I hear those work. Sometimes people just put droplets in their hands. I'll shake it, and it'll self-level. See? So it's done. You can do the whole counting your minutes and stuff like that, like a 20-second icing or a 15-second icing. And I'll be honest, I used to do that, but I love, look at, here, I'll bring this cookie out. Look at the puff that, on the edge of this cookie. You can't, so with that puff, it's like, that's like a nice puff. Can you see good? You definitely want it to be more on the thick side. So I would say this is closer to I don't know, 17, 18 seconds, but that's a real guesstimation. So I fill my bag, and I use these tipless bags from TMP, which is Truly Mad Plastics. I love them. I have a handful of other bags to try, just that I was given free from CookieCon. So I'll try them out. These just have always worked well for me, and I've always liked them. Look how pretty that little soft pink is. All right, so there's pink, and there's yellow. And I got these bowls at Target, which I honestly love, 79 cents. I want a ton of them, because I was like, oh, these are the greatest things. Okay, so let's talk about this green. So the green, I did cookies last week, and I just bagged it, and you see it separated. So here's all we'll do is we're gonna cut the tip off, because I think, I really want you guys to understand is that do not get rid of all of your work. Don't throw all of your profit and your product away, and now it's just costing you more time and more product when the product is perfectly fine, and you can roll it to the next, project you have. So let me just wash my hands, sorry. Okay, so you see the icing is separated and all of this. I'll reuse a spoon because you won't tell the green into the yellow. Okay, so I'll just remix it up. This green is not gonna flood. This green is gonna go for, I think, my grass and stuff. So I want this green to be thicker. See how I shake it? It's not going anywhere. Perfect. And sometimes you have to kind of pre-plan in your head and say, and I'll be honest with you, there are times that I'm like, okay, you know what? This color works. I'm going to just cover this and figure out what I need it for, because I don't want to bag it and waste my bag. And then I'm like, oh man, I need some to be stiff and I need some to be loose. And then I have to go back, cut my bag open, and redo all my work. So because I know that I am not going to flood any cookie with green, I'm gonna do detail work, I can leave him thicker. I have no idea why I always decide these things are like hims and hers, but I guess that's just me. All right. So again, I just push all my icing down, and I have this nifty diffy bag tie, which I've used in the past, and you can get it on, this one is from the Creative Cookier, but I know it's on Amazon and all that jazz. Okay, so we have pink, we have this. Okay, now let's do blue. So here's blue. So I had this blue, and it was really such a pretty blue. Like I really, really, truly loved it, and I was like, oh, that's a really nice blue. So I can keep this blue, but then I'm going to show you, like, we can change the blue. Like, there's no reason to. And I think that's when you come up with the most beautiful colors, is adding more than one color to it to add depth and dimension. And you know what? Make yourself an original color. All right, so I have this blue, and I'm going to add, and this blue, I believe, is a mixture. I know what it is. It's a mixture of Americolor Wedgwood, Americolor Navy, and I think it has like a dot of royal in it. But this time I'm gonna add just a little bit of sky to brighten it up, just so it's a little bit more bright. And festive, and you know what? I always have to remember Easter colors sometimes to me can be very girly, and then you've got to represent those boys. You know, the boys need representation. So I'm only going to add white to it because I personally felt like it's a little dark, so you of course always lighten with white. But B, I wasn't a fan of the consistency that I felt like the liquid made. So just by adding a little bit of stiffer white to it, I can shake it, which that probably has to give you guys a word now. I can shake it and I can see that it self-levels, so I'm pretty happy. Let's see. Yeah, see? Ta-da! And I feel like this right here, this whole consistency is the key to the game of cookies. Oh wait, oh my gosh, here we go. Karen wrote, I almost forgot to look. All right, I have some Americolor gel in small bottles, which I can just squeeze. Some Wilton gel, yeah, in jars. With the Wilton, what should I use? Oh yeah, you have to use the stupid toothpicks. I'll be honest with you, I started with the Wilton, and I used to do that. You stick your little toothpick in the thing and pull it out, and you went through about 4 million toothpicks because you can only dunk it once or else you're contaminating your jar. And I threw all my Wiltons away. And I switched to Americolor probably 9 years ago, and I love it. I do have the dust colors that I like, but I'll be honest with you, I really paint with those and I use dust with them. So many people have complained about a bitter taste with them. I just never really went and did it. Okay, let me add one more. So wait, let me look at our picture because I'm trying to kind of go off the picture, even though I rarely do the same thing twice. Oh, let's read.
Hey, Melissa, I had a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you think, or do you have an opinion on if the color can go bad?
Well, they say it can't. I've asked that. I did get rid of my colors after they went bad, and then someone said, "Oh no, they never go bad." I totally can see what they're saying. you don't use a lot of color in it, so I really can't see how it could cause a problem or what it could do. I could just see, I mean, if you look at the ingredients in it, it's not really ingredients that have an expiration date, really. But these ones are not expired because I did get all new ones probably about a year ago. They have like, I think, a 3-year shelf life or something. But like, I only have the big ones in my main colors, like my main ones, but all those super fun colors, I have them in the small. And like, this is lilac, which I have to tell you is one of the best purples ever. And you do that with like a pinch of pink and it makes like a fantastic, like, look at this plum purple I have. That is eggplant. It's like 4 colors in there to try to get it. But yeah, so I don't know. It is a huge question that people have. It's a huge debate also, I would say. But go to AmeriColor. I also use Chef Master. I have my airbrushes are Cookie Countess and Chef Master, and I enjoy those. And I was given like a prime something, which I won it, and I think I really liked it also. I thought that was a really good color thing too. And it was pretty actual. But I haven't had the whole Sugar Art. I know Sugar Art, there's a huge debate right now with their colors. It's very much like you're either on Team Sugar Art or you're not, I guess. And I can honestly say and stand by the fact that I have only painted with them and dusted with them. I've never mixed them into my icing, so I really can't be on anyone's team. I can honestly say. Yeah. I will refrain from my team captain position. So yes, all right, I'm just gonna mix up this white just so we have extra white because sometimes you never know. And then I'm gonna mix the orange and then we have to get to decorating because this is gonna take us a while to get through everything only because things have to kind of sit and dry. So I will steal one more bowl. I'll reconstitute our orange, and then I think we're good to go. Does anyone else have any questions at all? Anything fun to discuss? Anyone making cookies? Anyone have any major issues making cookies? Yeah. Okay. All right. I think once you get that consistency down, it makes the whole cookie experience much more enjoyable. But until then, you can be like super frustrated. I would say that. I was I'll speak for me. I was super frustrated. And then sometimes I'm lazy and I know, and I'm like, Melissa, you know that consistency is not gonna work and you're just wasting your time. But I go like this and I say, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And it's never fine. You gotta trust your gut. If you don't like it in the bowl, you're not gonna like it on your cookie. That could be a shirt that we can make. All right, I did make a little tiny white just so my hand is easier when we go to do a few of the details. And then let me just remix the orange and we are completely good to go. Yay, we made it through coloring. Oh my goodness. But you can also pre-bag these, like if you're gonna do a class or if you're even gonna do these, you can massage in your bag. Like you don't necessarily have to do what I'm doing. You can go and you can take your bag and you just reconstitute it right in here and you massage it up real good. They're very happy. The only time you have to, sometimes these tags are great also because you can write on it pipe or flood so that you know the consistency when you bagged it. All right, so you see this is very thick and I know I'm gonna flood because I'm gonna flood the carrots. I think I have 1 carrot or I have 2 carrots. I have to flood. I have 1. But we can make some orange jelly beans, so we definitely need it to be flooded. Let's see. But the beauty of this consistency that I use, I outline and I flood in the same consistency. So technically, if you want to go over it, like with a detail on top, it's fine to do it as well. If you went with a straight flood, you can't pipe or outline with a straight flood. All right. The last one. And I did go tipless a while ago. You can still use tips. I do still use tips if I'm going to do like flowers or leaves or anything like that. But I am 99% tipless, even with my buttercream on my cakes. Of course, unless I need a design, only because it's no clean. There's no cleanup. And everyone loves no cleanup. Okay, oh my goodness. All right, are you ready? Let's go. I'm gonna take you back over here and I'm gonna stick you down so you can see all of our things that we made. And we can talk about, we have all of our cookies, we have all of our icing, and then you can see everybody. All righty. Sorry about that. Okay. So here's what we have. Let me move this here so you can see. Okay, so we have all of our colors that we did. We have them all bagged up. All right, so I will put everybody, it's like a lot of equipment. I'll put everyone over here. Okay, so always by my side, you will always see me. I hate having dirty hands. I hate having anything, but I always have paper towels right next to me so that I can keep my bags covered and such. So we have a couple of designs. This is a really cute cookie cutter. It is an ear and it goes on like the side of a mug that you hang it off of. Just to be honest, it would be a super awesome idea to sell with a hot chocolate bomb. I just came up with that, so we can call it the Melissa Special. But I thought that was really cute. All right, I've got this cute little guy with the bunny with the thing. And then we have the hawk, which I super love, mini eggs, and the jelly beans. And then I have some regular designs, which we can totally do. So we will just, I'm gonna slide this over here so that I can see what the heck I'm doing with this picture. Because I do want it to kind of, because I showed you the picture, I wanna kind of make it somewhat what we did. So we'll kind of go in a certain order where we have to figure out, and that's the best, that's really what you also wanna remember is you wanna go, when you're decorating cookies, in order of who needs to dry, who needs wait time and things like that, so you can make sure that, especially if you're decorating a large amount of cookies, that you're waiting on certain items. So let's do him first. So with him, we have, you see, we have do the pink ears inside, which if you wanted to and you weren't confident, you could completely go and you could write on your cookie with an edible marker to give you an idea of where you want your pink to land. And then you're like, score, I'm set. Tell me, is everyone, you want to come closer? I just want to make sure you guys can see it. Okay. So I will take my bag and I will push down on my seam and cut myself a hole. Remember, it is always better to cut less and come back and cut more later if you need to. I anchor my hand with usually, I think I honestly anchor it with the middle finger, so please do not take offense to it. Oh wait, Angela's mind is blown. Oh yes, edible markers. And I will blow your mind even further, Angela, and I'm gonna show you this one from Tweets that when you see all of the cookies that are decorated that look like comic books and things like that with all the tiny, she has that one, which is amazing. And then she just came out with a thick one that looks like thick piped font, which is beyond amazing. All right, so I will do the inner ear first on this cookie. I just want to make sure you guys can see. Okay. All right, so because this icing is nice and thicker, you can go a little bit higher with your icing. Like you don't have to feel like it's gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna leave you. So I think on this one this is how I did it. I did the inner ear first and then I came back and did it on the outside. You can do it so many different ways. And then I also, and I will say now that I'm looking at it, it looks pink to me, but I think for you, it might look really white. I did do cute little white polka dots. So just as typical wet on wet, you want to do those before you leave or else your icing will harden. And I will come up here so you can see. And he will, you give him a little shake, everybody. I don't know why I do that so close to the camera. I feel like you're gonna vomit. Okay, everybody will lay down. You can take your little scribe if you want, and you can push your little tips down. I'm lazy, I never do. All right, let's go with the other ear. So I will do the other inside. And I got a great tip from this cookie class. I've taken a handful, which just so everyone knows, like you can never stop learning. The moment you stop learning is the moment you're stuck doing the same stuff for the next 20 years. But anyways, one of the best tricks she ever said was you always want to do, whatever you do, you want to do what's behind first. So whatever is in front goes second. So we want the white of the ears to kind of come out. So we'll do the pink first. So they feel like they're inset. All right. I do promise that in good light, you can actually see that there's white polka dots. I'm realizing that I probably should have made it darker just for you guys, but it is what it is. So, and I like to work with, for the edible markers, I do like to work with the lighter colors, but they do have the darker, and those are great too. It just, you have to remember if you're gonna do like white over them, be really careful that your white doesn't show through. So the yellow is pretty easy to cover. Okay, so now that we've done that, I will go through and we will do the white, the whole headband and the ears in white. And then this one had the green, it had green, we won't do green, but we'll do yellow, and it'll have blue wet on wet stripes. And then we let them just like sink in, which, I mean, how cute is that? This is like adorable. But you can do anything on here. Like you can then come back and you can personalize it. Happy Easter. You can write someone's name on it. Super, super fun. All right. So I personally like to go through and I'll outline the whole thing and then come back. I will also recommend, you probably would be much happier and better off having a smaller bag, but of icing, as I try to show you, so that it kind of fits in your hand. As you all know, I hate filling bags. So what I do is I will hold it, but I'm trying to get under camera. I will hold it like right about here, and I'll twist it so that I'm only having this in my hand and this hangs over. It does bother some people because it makes them feel like they're not in control. If I'm writing, I will have a very, very small bag of icing so that I'm more, which I'm gonna get it, there it is. And so I'm more in control and it's all in my hand, and then I have complete control. But remember, if you're a hot hand kind of gal or guy, you can make your icing go warm just by your hand. All right, so I will go through and I'm gonna outline the bunny ears. And then if at any time my hand blocks, just yell at me. But I'm trying to keep my little paw out of your eye line. And this icing has really good, I usually wouldn't stop, which you can. I usually wouldn't if I wasn't doing a video. But this icing has a really good elasticity, which is kind of key for what you want. All right, I have to go up, so I apologize now, but you won't be able to see. Which is key because as you can see, I kind of have my icing in the air, and I'm like gently guiding the string and then letting it naturally fall. So I'll start like here and then go to here. All right. And I will fill in and just kind of gently go around, and I'll come back with my scribe to settle. See how, and there's timeline, but there's like this, you want it to butt up and you want it to touch each other because you want it to be fluid and like they're all friends and you don't want any holes. So, all right. do think decorating cookies is very therapeutic. And you have time with this icing. It's not so thick that I'm not going to make it all the way around and there's going to be huge stop and start marks. If the icing was any thicker, you'd run the risk of that. But it's just thick enough that it settles itself and it gives yourself a nice like puff. But I want it to be like nice. I want the edges to be nice. So I'll just tell it like, hey lady, lay down nicely. And then you'll also learn with time of practice and things like that, you know, not to overfill and stuff like that, which that's the worst when you finish a cookie and then you go back and look at it and she's like oozing over and you're like, no, get back, don't do that. I hate that. It drives me nuts. But you can always fix that. So maybe we'll overfill a cookie so I can show you how to fix it, because that's the beauty of sugar. Pretty much everything is fixable. All righty. So see how nicely, you see, it's like, it's so quiet. Oh my gosh, do you guys decorate with music or TV? I'm a TV junkie, so I usually have TV on. If I have music on, I want to dance, so I can only have music on when I'm like doing dishes or actually like baking. But
I used to only listen to music, but my honey got me a TV maybe about a month ago, so now I watch TV, but I do find it a little bit distracting, and I have noticed that I make a couple measuring errors every now and again when I'm watching TV.
well, I will say I usually, the only things I watch on TV is stuff I don't have to look up for. If I have to look up, then I can't watch it. But I have been known to pause if my mixer's on so I can hear what's going on, especially on my reality TV. I do love that. Okay, so we have the whole thing flooded. Oh, she's so pretty. Okay, and then, lay down. Okay, and then I will come through and I will do the wet on wet, just the lines going across. And that's all I did on this one. Oh, maybe I should cut it correctly. Okay, so, and I just pull straight across and make sure my hand is straight. And then I come through with a second color, and you can take it and you can manipulate it if you felt like your edge was up a bit. But I will tell you this, please remember, of everything, you will be the one that recognizes if there's an issue. I also like doing this. I also like, if I'm gonna do 2 different colored lines, I think it's kind of cute sometimes to make them different sizes. So my yellow is much thicker than my blue. And I think that's kind of fun. See? And that's it. Like, oh, come on. Oh, here. Oh. So now we'll let him dry. He's so cute. Oh my gosh, adorable. Okay, so I usually leave everything on a cookie sheet, and then I put them in my oven because I have a proofer. So I will. You always want to make sure that you're careful when you move them. So I would put them on a cookie sheet, and then I will turn the oven on. So it can start drying for us so that I can at least get through everything that you can see it. All right. Okay, so now let's do the next one. So now let's do the hop, which I think is, I think honestly the hop is like one of my cutest ones. All right, so we have the H first, which, let me go like that. Okay, so again, just to make sure that we don't mess up, I will take the edible marker and I will make the inside of the H so that I remember to leave space and not to do this as a negative space and not do it, or else you have like a blob. Okay. So for this one, I did it in blue. So we'll just kind of keep it just so if you needed to refer back, you have this sheet. It's kind of all similar. So I made my hole really, really small. I don't know why my camera's not picking up. Oh. Let's see. Oh, there you go. So I made my hole really small. So because I'm going to flood it, I'm going to have to make it a little bit bigger. And we'll make it just a little bit bigger than that. Okay. All right. So I will go all the way around and I will outline my H, and then I will come back and I will flood it. And I'll follow this line that I just made, because if I didn't make it, I totally would have forgot. And I would have been like, what? And I would have been like, oops. And now it's a blob. Okay, so he's flooded. And I mean, he's outlined. And then I will come back in and I will flood it. As I'm trying to put the bag in my hand. Okay, there we go. And I love to airbrush also, so you can absolutely airbrush any of your cookies. You just want to wait until your cookie is dry, and then you can airbrush away. Like, they have really cool stencils. I do not make my own, which there are tons of places on Etsy and other locations that you can get them. And then I will honestly tell you that I opened my cabinet in my office and realized I had a brand new Cricut I've never used because I forgot I bought it. So maybe with this quarantine, I will learn how to make my own stencil, but I do not. I do love a ton of places, but I don't know. I think sometimes I'm a huge arts and crafts person, so I had to make decisions where I was like, you know, Melissa, get off the ledge. Like, you can't do everything, or else you would be so busy trying to save $4 or $5 on a stencil and time making it, then you wouldn't have time to do, you know, everything else, your business paperwork, your orders, all of that. Look at that. Okay, so our H is done. So on my little demo thingy, I had cute little polka dots because I am a polka dot sucker. So I do like, I just love polka dots, especially wet on wet ones. I just think they're so pretty. So I'll go through, and then we'll end up coming back to this one to add the tulips and the flowers after it sets up. So you want to make sure when you're doing the cookies, which I'm going to talk like you're not really doing them, even though I know many of you in the class have absolutely done cookies before, but I've always found, even when I take classes, if they talk to me like I've never really done it, I'll learn so many tricks that I've never realized. So you do want to make sure, because there's always people have the issue of bleeding, of craters, of cracking. The number one thing you want to remember is there's like this sweet spot that you want to make sure that your cookie is dry enough that you can put other designs on top, but not too dry that when you go to put the other designs on, it is trying to suck the moisture from that color. All right, so we're going to pop this guy in. Look at him. One day I'll figure out how to hold it so straight. Oh, there you go. Our little H, super cute. Okay, we're gonna pop him in the oven. And then we'll come back and we'll do our flowers and our grass. So now we'll do the P, and you see, like, if you looked at my design, I forgot to draw the negative space of the P, so my P is solid. So you can do it that way if you want, but I figured this time I would do it the right way. So I'll just draw the space here so that I know where not to go. And I also made it a little bit bigger because I don't want to see the yellow. So I'll go a little bit inside the yellow line just so I can make sure that I block it. And then no one sees, oh, she's got a cheat line there. Because no one wants that, right? Alrighty. And I'll be honest with you, with the amount of cookies I have, and now I see the time, I will most likely end up going over because I really do want you guys to have all these designs. So feel free to stay, feel free to leave. I'll still talk to you like you're here. But when you come back later, you'll have the video to watch. But I don't want you guys to miss out on the designs. And honestly, a cookie class like this would take a couple hours. Okay. So as you see, I gave the little outline. I'm not 100% if I like that or not. Part of me now thinks I might like it where it's solidly filled in. So we'll make the decision when we get over there if we're going to keep it or if we're going to ditch it. Because I kind of feel like I'm not 100% on it. I may have had that same feeling when I did the samples also. Like, I don't know if I like it or not.
Hey,
right.
Melissa.
Yes.
I don't have a proofer. Is it acceptable to put a fan over your cookies?
So people use fans and people use floor heaters, you know, those little space heaters. And you can absolutely do that. You just want to make sure that you're not too close, that you're blowing the icing, because that will crack your icing as well. So like, don't be putting that thing on supersonic high speed and right next to your cookie. But yeah, you can, people use them all the time. You can also go and you can invest if you wanted to in a dehydrator, and they have them like, honestly, at like Cabela's, Bass Pro Shop, things like that. You can get a dehydrator for $100 if you want to invest in one. I have only used them in my cookie classes that I've taken, and I will say it's quite impressive that we're in a cookie class for a couple hours and you're able to get through all the designs with the dehydrator. So the proofer is the same thing. The other thing you can remember is you don't need any of it. You can put your cookies in the oven with the light bulb on, and that should get you to almost 90 degrees with the light on. So you can also do that as well. A proofer goes to 100, and so I will tell you like 95 is the sweet spot. So I will turn my proofer on, and then I will turn it off at a certain point sometimes if I'm using it all day long, and let it just hold the heat. So, but if you want to do me a favor, since I can't look down, someone has asked a question and I can't see it. If you want to read it to me, that would be awesome.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
All right. I was already in the chat and it wouldn't let me unmute myself, so I had to go back out. Okay, this is from Angela, and she says, "Teach me all the tricks, Melissa." Ha ha ha. And then she says, "I struggle with cookies."
Oh, you know what? Cookies, they're a little bitch sometimes. I'm gonna be honest with you. It took me a long time, a really, really, really long time, and I used to hate doing them. I mean, I absolutely despised them, and now I absolutely love them. So I'm here for you, Angela. I will teach you everything, like a sensei on Karate Kid. All right, so look, you have like you can push these little thingies down if you feel like they're poking up. They will actually settle down back into place. All right, we're gonna put him back in the thing. I don't even know if I like it like that, but it is what it is now. Like we've committed. All right. Okay, so now we're gonna do our O for our hop. And so just like I did with the other ones, this one has a pink ear, and then we're gonna talk about how we're gonna make this fold. Because this fold right here of the ear bending down, you wanna see that. And if I just went and straight flooded it, you would not have the dimension of it. It would just look like a solid white, like he got an amputated ear. So that one, okay, so first we'll fill our thing. We'll just kind of keep it the same thing. So we'll do our little ear. And then I won't polka dot this ear because I feel like the H and the O are all polka dotty. So we'll have him be a little bit different. All right. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, while you're sitting here, I'll plug myself in it so that it tells, since it's telling me I have a low battery. Okay. All right, hold on one sec. Cancel. Okay. Ta-da! Okay. All right, so I did the pink of the ear. And then what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna outline, but I also wanna have this fold in here. So we're gonna put that fold in, and then we're gonna come back, and that's gonna be the last area we flood so that it really hardens up and it makes that little crease. So, and then I'll also tell you something else that I changed is that I used to leave a huge edge on the cookie. And then that's something I also learned from going to a ton of classes. And I think I really, this one teacher I had at CookieCon the year before last, when you have the right consistency icing, you can take your icing straight to your edge. It's when you don't that you're have so fearful of run over, and then you keep it away from the edge. Okay, so you see how we did that little outline so we could create that little bend. This area right here is the absolute last spot that I'm gonna flood. And I'm not going to, because I wanna make sure that you can see that. Okay, so I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna put him right here so he can sit and just sit. While he is sitting, we'll go to another cookie. All right, let's go do these let's just do a little jelly bean. Just so you can see a little jelly bean. And what I'm gonna show you the jelly bean is the little white whoosh. Because I do love the little whoosh. All right, so a jelly bean, because you can go through and you can flood all these if you wanted to ahead of time, but we're gonna just flood it and we're gonna just outline it and flood it. So you can outline ahead if you wanted to, and then come back later, but we're gonna just do it all right this second so you can kind of see it. And then this is the part that like a scribe comes in handy. Of course, you can absolutely use a toothpick, but you have your cute little jelly bean, and then you just want to go the jelly bean and you want to make a dot, and then you can pull your dot. And he makes the cute little swoosh. Swoosh. All right, we'll put him right here. Alrighty, so let's go to this one while we're gonna wait for the other guy to harden up. And then this is gonna be the same deal. So all kind of the same thing, but let's go to the carrot. Like I need a different color right now. Like we have to take a break. All right, let's go to the carrot so then we can talk about the green and we can do the orange and we'll do that jazz. So this way we'll see orange. Okay. So let's see. Do you have any questions? Oh, wait, let me see Karen. So Karen says, saw a video where someone used a turkey trussel needle as a scribe. That's what these are. These are turkey lacers turned into scribes. Which I don't know why I have such a hard time with this. So you can little beads on them and little charms on them, but you can order these on Amazon. You can do, they're always usually turkey lacers or upholstery needles, I think some people use. These are the 6-inch. You can buy the turkey lacers that are the 4-inch. I personally don't like it because, like I've said in the past, like my hand gets tired. So when you're doing cookies at so many hours, I don't like that little small and your hand's too close to the cookie. So I like where I can pull my hand back and it can just kind of rest here and I can do it. So I always do the larger ones. That's kind of just, I don't know, that's just what I like. So, all right, so this one is, all right, so here I'll show you again with the outline so you can see, because you want to make sure, because this is his little hand right here. sometimes, and I'll tell you, when I buy cookies, I use Sortly to sort my when I buy cookie cutters, I use Sortly to sort them, but I know there's a couple other companies. But if I buy a cookie cutter, I will usually take a picture of the cookie cutter. I will take a picture of the sample of it also. And then that way, when I go back to go make it, I'm not doing exactly what they did, but then I can see all the pieces like, oh, this is supposed to be this. This is supposed to be a bow tie. You know, whereas if you're just going in blind, you're like, where does it start and where does it end? So that is one huge recommendation that I have. That's something that has like, here, I'll show you this because I just got these, I got a ton of cutters, but here's an example. So like, here's a perfect example. I bought these 4th of July cutters. They're like minis, but I put them in a bag with what their demo is of it. So that way, when I go to make them, I say, oh, this is what the heck they are, because I would never remember that there's a bow on here and how they do it. And then I just put it in a Ziploc, and then I put it with my cookie cutters. And then I always know these 4 cutters go together in this bag. So I definitely recommend that, or else you'll be one of those people on the site and they're like, what cookie cutter is this again? And I'm like, I don't know. Because it's so hard to tell after a while, you forget. They all kind of start looking alike. And I think what's really neat is that once you kind of get your consistency down, you start to look at these cookies and realize these cookies are all the same. Like, she's not doing anything different than she did from her first cookie. It's just with different colors. And honestly, that's the truth. Not until you start getting into painting or other materials and texturing and all that other stuff. But when you're doing designs like this, it's just, you sit back and you break it apart and you say, okay, you got to do this one, you got to do that one. I like to shake it a little. It levels out. I think that we'll polka dot it because why not? It's like my theme is the polka dots. I think you can't go wrong with the polka dots. If I made darker orange, I probably would come back and polka dot with a dark orange also, because I think that's fun. But I don't know. I feel like Easter's supposed to be like fun and pastel-y and chocolatey, cookie-ish, things like that. Okay, I'm gonna end up doing it in this because remember, this is like perfect point, is I went and I made all of my green really thick. So I'm gonna do it in this one. So we'll cross our fingers that it's the right consistency. But I did make my green super thick and I really didn't want it to be super thick. So I will do this leaf and I will do the last leaf and I will leave the one in the middle, because if I did the one in the middle now, it would all blend together and you wouldn't have the definition of the 3 separate leaves. Ta-da! Okay, so I'm going to go and throw this one in. Well, actually, I'm not gonna throw them in. I'm gonna put them right here. But let's go back to our bended ear and we're gonna fill this guy now. And that's like the beauty of having a set and really like thinking things through, like, okay, what am I gonna do first? What am I gonna do second? So that you know that you can jump around. And try when you do sets to make things in like just a couple of colors. So that way you're not. The worst thing is when you have to have a set and it has like 14 different colors, or you have to make colors for like 2 dots. Oh, that drives me nuts. So I always say, think if you have to do it, or if you could just paint that spot or airbrush that spot, and then you can add the definition that way. So we'll just go and we'll fill it. But I do think this is like your perfect time. Like anytime I'm making cookies and I'm making cookies for any reason, if I have extra dough out, I'll just cut some cutters and then I'll just play. because this is also like your best time to do it, especially with everything going on and everyone being stuck at home and all that jazz. You're like, see. So I'll be honest with you, like this irritates me. Do you see how long it's taking me to flood it? I just don't have the patience. So I will cut my tip bigger so that it goes faster. It's not like I change people. I'm completely the same. It's lack of patience. Okay. So I will go, and what I'll do is I will do all the way up to the bend of the ear. Yes, we totally gave him time to dry, but we really want to make sure. So I did all the way up to that bend, and then I'm going to come back through and I'm going to just settle everything here to make sure it's all settled and nobody is lumpy, or, you know, if you see a low spot, it just means it needs more icing. I will shake it. Some people will put their scribe into their cookie and shake it that way. I don't, because I'm pretty clumsy and I've had an epic failure with that. So I don't even do that anymore. I shook that thing right off the table. All right, so here I'm gonna come and I'm gonna start up here. Okay, you can see. All right, I'm gonna start up here. And I will go and I will fill all of this that I know that I need. And then I'll just move it around. And I will butt it up gently. But I don't want to go over my line that I created, because I did all this work to create this line to show this definition, and I don't want to go too far. Look at that girl. So you see how we did that? And now you see it looks like the ear is literally laying over. So now she will definitely go into the oven. To rest. Okay. And you want to make sure that when you're moving your cookie sheets and stuff that you don't jolt them, because if you jolt them, the top layer might be dry enough, but because the bottom, like if I started like really sliding this cookie around, the bottom is not dry enough and then it'll crack. So, all right, now let's go and let's do some eggs. Let's mix it up. Let's do some eggs while we're waiting. Okay, so I started working on this egg earlier just to get some stuff done because I wanted to show more details and on it and writing, and I knew I needed time for it to dry. So I did this a couple hours ago, like, I don't know, 3 hours ago. So I did that. So,
hey, Melissa.
Yeah.
Karen had a question. And she knows it's kind of different areas, but how much do you sell your sets for?
Okay, so here's how my cookies start at $3. I will be very honest with you. I rarely sell a cookie for $3.75 anymore. So it's unless it's a really simple one, but they're on average about $4.25 and up. So I kind of do it like that. You know, I look at the set and I look at what the hardest cookie is in the set and how many steps the cookie has, and I price that cookie. And then I go and I look at my other ones because I know I'm not going to make anything for less than $3.75. So I will say, okay, well, this cookie might be $5.50. This cookie might be $3.75, and these cookies might be $4.25. And then I will kind of add them up, free or a set or whatever, and that's how I do it. But I have also found when I give out pricing, like for large orders of like 50, 100, 300, 400, people like to hear small numbers. So people like to hear, oh, that'll be $4.25 a cookie versus that'll be $895. It's just an easier number to swallow. You know, if someone's giving a party favor out, the going rate is usually about $5 a head. So if they can do a decorated cookie that's bagged, tagged with a ribbon, and it's under $5, they're like, oh yeah, that's fine. We got it. We're good. So that's how I price mine. When I started at $3 a cookie. And as I also looked around in my area, and that's how I priced everything, my cupcakes, everything when I went into business. I looked at all of the storefronts when I first started and I said, what is everyone selling everything for? And then I went just below. And then as I got a reputation and I got my name out there and I got people coming to me and bakeries sending me their overflow, I bumped it up. So I'm not the highest in the area, but I'm right up there with most of the higher end. So I hope that helps, Karen. But I do totally recommend by giving pricing by, the only time I give pricing by a dozen is if it's a crazy set and I need some of them to be more than other cookies, if that makes sense. All right, so on this one, because I just did like the different sections, which we'll come back through and I'm gonna do all the details on that one. You can do the same thing. So you can, on an egg, let's do a chickie. All right, so let's make it like it's a chick poking its head through, right? So we'll go like that. I never made one, but let's do that. All right, so look. So what do we want to do first? You're going to want to do the yellow first, right? Because the white is on the outside of the egg. The yellow is on the inside. So the white would be the forward color. So I think what I would do though, is that you could do it two ways. One, you could just brush this yellow on if you didn't want it to be overly filled. If you didn't want to fill it, you could do that. But we'll just do this. And then we'll have like a chick breaking through. I think that would be so cute. So remember, you can do this on a circle. And so or you can do this on a square. And so how I would do that is I would go and I would just outline. And if you don't have an edible, I totally forgot this, but if you don't have an edible marker, you can take a toothpick or a scribe or a knife and you can just dig into your cookie. And you can make a design and then it'll come to me. Well, I swear you can see it. But you can just do that, which I've done that many a times. And you can just scrape out your outline. But you can go and you can take an outline of an egg, like you can print off an egg online if you can't eyeball it, which I totally would print it also. And then outline it, take the egg out template and outline it on like a square cookie or a circle cookie. And now you've got an egg on your cookie and then you can decorate it. You could have a chickie just kind of hanging off your cookie. Just remember, think outside the box and don't feel like just because you don't have this cutter, you can't do something similar to this cookie. Like always be your own person. It's one thing to be able to copy designs, which I'm always in love to try to do that. But at the same time, I'll always take a design and be like, okay, I like this. What pieces do I like from it that I want to do on my cookie? And then make it your own. So, okay. So I'm going to let him sit right here. We'll come back to the orange guy. This has firmed up enough. We can do the center petal of our leaf. And then I definitely want it to bud up, so I will push it in. See, look how cute. But if we didn't wait for that, it would have, gone every which way. Okay, so this one, instead of me doing the ears first, I'm gonna flood it white, and then I'm gonna do the ears on top so you can see it a different way. So you can see that you don't always have to do everything the same way. And then the other way is you could just paint the icing right here so that it's very much recessed versus piping it. All right, so only because this orange is like solid enough that it won't merge in, I can do it. If your icing was really wet, I would say you need to wait or else everything would bleed together. But you could, of course, wait longer. So don't think that you had to do it right this second. When I first started using, so this meringue powder I use is Jeannie's Dream, which is from Creative Cookier. when I will be honest with you, when I started using her meringue powder, I went on my original recipe that I used for CK products. And I personally had to up it because it would not dry in like 3 hours for me to bag it the way that I'm used to. So I'm not a person who does cookies and waits overnight and then I ridiculously elaborate design that I have to. So because I needed to be able to have it go from start to finish in sometimes less than 4 hours, I had to up my meringue powder. And because her meringue powder, the way it is, really, it has to sit for like a long time. But I even had friends like on the West Coast that were saying that the meringue powder wasn't even hardening up overnight. Like it was taking like 24 hours. So this is just the ear wet on wet. So not that just so you know, you don't always have to do one before the other. I promise you actually really can see it in real life. But she is pretty darn blush. So again, you want to have this because if you started and then putting the ear inside, you would really cause a risk of overflow. So let me pull it right up here. So can you see that? So you can see it, it is there. But see, look how beautiful this puff is. I mean, this is like gorgeous. All right, let me throw this one in the oven. And the oven and the fan, all of that really does help with the shine and making the shine happen. So you go with that. All right, let me see what this one's supposed to be. Okay, oh, this one is cute. This one is going to be, again, this is all like bunnies, you know what I mean? But let's do this. Instead of this, let's do this cute. Let's not do that one. It's like the same thing. Let's do a bunch of eggs. Again, you can do, these are really cute. You can do these little mini guys, and then you can do wet on wet with them, or you can wait until they dry to do different designs. So this cutter came from, I think, Bobby's Cutters. And the reason why I love her cutter for this is it cuts out 6 eggs at a time. So you know me, who would want to cut one of these at a time, especially if you were doing an order. So the way that I sold these last 6 mini eggs and 1 big bunny. And I think how I did it, I think I sold it for $10 or $12. I think that's what I did. I think. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty confident that's what I did. Okay, so sometimes you just have to shake them and then they'll level out. And then you can do, we can do designs.
Hey, Melissa.
Yes.
How much do you recommend the cookie turner? I don't have one.
The what?
The cookie round turner thing that you're on.
Oh, the cookie swivel. Yeah. I love my cookie swivel. I live by it. I'll be honest with you. I highly recommend it because, as you see, I don't have to keep touching the cookie. And then you can turn the cookie. This one is from LC Sweets. You can, but I will be honest with you, they're everywhere. It's called a cookie swivel or a cookie turntable. And see, cute. I feel like they're so shiny until they dry, and then you're like, all right, so here is this one. I love this, but let's be honest. If you don't think that you're gonna make it or a lot, you don't need to buy this cutter. I mean, you could go and all you have to do is make a template of an ear. I mean, here's the deal. I make templates all the time of cookie cutters that I don't have. And here's how I do it. I printed off the picture of what I want to do. I take a cake circle or whatever, and I cut around it, and then I use my cake circle on top. I'm gonna bring one over because I just had to do it. And then I cut out the cookie like that. So this is a cookie I had to do, and the customer had ordered a ridiculous, I will show you the whole deal. The customer had ordered this ridiculously small cookie cutter. I mean, I'm gonna show you how stupid small this is. But they went and ordered this custom cookie cutter to look like their shoe. I just would like you to understand how small this cookie is. It is by far ridiculous. And it's like their shoe, but then it has all the knees, and it's ridiculous. So when she gave me a quote, I quoted her because it was very detailed, $6.50 a cookie, and I couldn't, of course, do that. So I had to go and I had to enlarge the cookie to make it bigger. So all I did was I printed this cookie out. I took my cake circle and I laid it on top of, it's so hard to line up so that you can see. Okay. And I laid it on top the cutout, and I cut it out with an X-Acto knife. And then every time I cut a cookie, I laid this on top and I had to trace them and hand cut them out. So you can, this cookie, I mean, and then you cut a hanging thing. That's all it is. And this thing is most adorable. Look, it hangs in a cup. And I think that it would be super cute. Well, you need a mug. I tried, but you need a mug. But it's super cute. I loved it, and I sold a ton of them, and people loved them. And then I just realized they would be great to make with their the hot chocolate bombs, because you can pair them together. And how much fun is that? That is super fun. All right, let's show a recessed ear just so we can do something different. And I'm gonna get a paintbrush. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to outline the inner ear. And then I am going to pipe in pink, like real randomly like this. And then I'm gonna take a paintbrush and I'm going to brush it so that it becomes covered, but it's flat. And let me get a little bit more, just so we have enough. And then when we go to pipe, you will have the definition of this recessed ear. Ta-da! Look at that. That takes like no talent at all right there, folks. I'm gonna be honest with you. A little paintbrushing. Okay, so now we'll come through, and I don't really need to wait because remember, I'm going raised. So I'm gonna do, all right, I'm gonna do blue only so you can see the real definition, because I feel like if I do white, even though that's like grammatically correct, I don't even know if that's the term, but okay. So, but we'll do blue just so you can really see it. I feel like now that I'm looking at this design, I honestly also almost feel like you could do a surfboard cookie cutter and just shrink it. I think that would honestly be like the right shape. Okay. And then I will go back and just clean it all up and move my icing in. You see holes, you can pop them, and all of that. Give him a little shake. I don't know why he's a him. But then you can see he's recessed. But see, honestly, don't you see a surfboard? I kind of do see a surfboard that I feel like you could totally turn this ear into a surfboard if you had a surfboard cover. All right. So I'm gonna do this other bunny because he's kind of in our mix of stuff. And then this will do again. This is another one of the definitions. And then after I do this, I think I'll be fine enough to, I hope I'll be fine enough to put all the little details on. Here, let's do this. Let's do this one because I already showed you that. So let's go through and we'll put some details on this one. So you can go and I did this white here, and then I would probably come back in and give it an outline just so it's a clean finish between the blue and the white. And then I would probably take yellow, and you can do swivels. I mean, it's, you can come and you can do anything you want. I mean, I feel like my hand probably covered that whole thing, but if it didn't, it didn't. You can do raised dots. I mean, they're Easter eggs, so I don't know. I mean, how do you usually decorate an Easter egg? I don't know. Okay. And then here's green, which what did I make the green for? Oh, that's right, the grass. I already totally forgot. But the green, because it's stiffer, you can come in and you can write someone's name. And then you can write a name. So, I mean, this is the best part about, oh, let's do our chickie. The cookie decorating is you don't know. Sometimes you know exactly what you want to do. Sometimes you lay everything out there and you're like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. It's cookie decorating. I mean, you got to have fun with it or else you'll like bang your head into a wall. But it's all sugar. You can always fix sugar. So I will go through and I will come back up here and flood all this white. And then if he's dry enough, hopefully as we go through everyone, I won't be able to put all of the little details on like the mouth and all of that. But what I will do is I will finish it after we sign off, and I will finish all the formal details, and then I'll post the whole set on the class page. So that way you can see it. Just in case it gives you ideas of what you want to do or you want to see. Because like I would probably give like little blush on the cheeks. The eyes will be able to go on because that'll be icing. But then if I decide to write in a marker with the mouth, that stuff won't, but if you want to see that, I can totally make a video of that also. Not a problem. Oh my God, I think honestly, this might be my favorite one. I think this is so darn cute. And then they all come to life the moment you put the eyes on. All right. Let's put this one back in, and then let me see if I can, I'm gonna see if some of the grass is, I think the hop is probably done enough that I can put the grass on him. All right, so I would probably, yeah, he's fine. See how I pushed the envelope? I would probably wait, but it is what it is. And all I did was literally go like this. It's not rocket science. But look at how it just kind of makes him, pop out. Okay, and then I did these cute little tulips, which I just went and made little tulips. Now, in normal time, I would probably have the tulip because we're not letting it dry. If I let it dry, I can let it touch. But, and then you can manipulate it and you just make little tulips. And they're just like little cute little flowers that go on the bottom. That's pretty much it. Super easy, super cute. Let's see. I think I can go and I can do the swirl on the orange. So we'll swirl the orange. We'll give the orange a little cute swirl because I do love a little swirl. Look how cute. For eyes, my black here. I'm not comfortable. I think this one needs to dry more because I feel like the moment I put his eyes on, he's gonna crust. Let's see if my hop can do it. I think so. I don't remember which one I did first, but we'll put the eyes on the hop. So I just do black. Give him little eyes. And, yeah.
Melissa, did you already say, or I might have missed it, the black, is that the regular consistency like in the bowl where you just shake and it flattens out for the eyes?
Well, no, because it needs to be stiff because it is a detail. So all of the details are stiff or else it would go everywhere.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just couldn't remember.
And then I will take a little bit of the white icing out of the bag and put a little on my scribe and give him a little dot of white on his eye, which is now wanting to not behave. There he goes. And as you can see, I mean, cookies can take a few minutes or cookies can take a long time, you know, depending on the detailed levels. I will give him a heart nose because I think all bunnies should have a heart-shaped nose. Shouldn't bunnies just have a little heart nose? And see, I feel like the moment you put, now I would come back and dust his cheeks pink when he's like dry, that you can do that. I think we'll just gamble it and we'll put the little eyes on him. I'll show you eyes on him again. But so yeah, so the icing for the black is just the stiff icing like I did for the green. So this one I just decided to do two little eyes and then he can have a little pink heart nose. But you can also write someone's name right here. I mean, there's a ton of things that you can do. I think I would probably go like a pinch darker on my pink. I do love it, but at the same time, it needs like a little kapow. And because his little ears are flooded in, I don't know, he's so sweet. I feel like I could name him. But this is the one I really want to do, but I know he's not done yet. So I'll just tell you what I would do to him. And then I'll go and I'll finish all of these little goodies for you guys. So I'll let you go since I've totally kept you. But I would give him eyes and it's same deal. And I would probably give him a little cockeyed mouth, but here, we'll give him cute little eyes. See how he already like kind of feels like he's awake, but I have to wait to wake him for his, I'll give him he'll have an orange nose. Look at that. He's so cute, so cute. So.
Hey, Melissa.
Yes.
My husband's watching, and he has been for an hour and a half.
He's been
And
what?
he's been silent this whole time. And he just started like laughing, and he says, "That is so cute."
It is so cute. I'm telling you, it's cute. It's super cute. But does anyone have any questions I haven't answered or anything like that at all? No? It's just, this set was like a really fun set to do because it is kind of coming out right now, and it was something that everyone, it's an easier set that you can do with the kids and stuff. So like this one that I did earlier, I was just playing around with him, but like, look, see, I didn't have the right consistency for the hair, and I was like, I don't like that. So I will probably go over it again so that he has definition, and then I will probably outline him so that you can really see his ears. But you can go and you can put any one of these designs on any shape cookie. So don't feel like you have to have the exact shape, because you really don't. I mean, come on. It's like a little bunny hopping up. Super cute, super cute. All right, I'll do one more and then I will let you guys go because I feel so bad. But I could honestly sit here and decorate. The jelly beans I think are super cute also. They're also from I love her. She honestly is the sweetest thing ever. I love her, love her. And they are also, you cut 6 at a time. So don't feel like you'd be cutting. And I did the same thing. Like I had a set that had all these jelly beans and a big cookie with it. And then you can do the little swoop, which I feel like the swoop makes everything. Do you not feel like, I mean, seriously. But this icing, like once you get the consistency, I'm telling you, you guys will be once you get the consistency, it's all about it. Just do the swish, Karen. Did you want me to do it again? Okay, I'll do it again for you. We'll do a green one this time.
Hey, Melissa, while you're doing that, you had said that you might show us one going over and how to fix it.
Oh yeah, we'll do it. All right, I think he'll go over. If not, that would be impressive because that was a significant amount. All right, we'll push it over. Go, go, go. Okay, yeah, see, he's going. Oh, it's already painting me. Okay, so I'll show you this one because there's no point. Well, I can swoop it, but there's no point in swooping it because it's going to be a disaster. So you see how he's going over. All right, a couple of options to do this. Option A, you're like, ah, I see it now. So you can take your scribe and you can just wipe it up. Let's see if you see. So all I did was I took my scribe and I ran it around the edge, and I just, oh look, shit, I have it going everywhere now. Okay, see, he's going everywhere. I was very aggressive. So if you see it now, that's what you can do. You just have to stay on it like you're in a relationship with him, like you are not leaving his side. You're like, man, we are in it forever. And you keep wiping the edges. The other way to fix it is if you don't see it until, see, oh yeah, I fixed him up really good. I would also sometimes take like a clean paper towel and you can wipe this if you want, but it will flake off. But you see he's gonna go again because I was really aggressive. If you don't catch it initially, once it hardens, you can take an X-Acto knife and just
Hey, Melissa, I stopped hearing you. I don't know if it's just me or if anybody else is having an issue hearing you.
Nope, I can't hear her either.
We lost our main
Okay.
audio. We lost our main feed.
Oh, hey, Melissa. No one can hear you. And looks like Melissa's actually muted.
Hello. My computer went dead.
Oh no.
I don't know. It's my internet on my computer died. So that's okay. Hopefully you saw my swoosh, Karen. Swoosh. And that was it. So is everyone still in the meeting? Because I can't see anything. Oh, okay, Karen's there. All right, so here's the thing. Christy, are we announcing our announcement? Christy?
Yes, you are announcing it.
Okay, so you guys will be the first to know. We have had so much fun with you and have had classes. Oh, wait. I'll fix it. Hold on.
Building real
The
quick.
suspense is killing me.
Okay, can you see me now? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we have decided that we are doing tons of classes, and we're doing about 4 classes a month of our paid classes, and we have so many great supporters. So we decided, instead of everyone buying classes, $10 a class, which would end up being $40 if you did all of them, we're going to roll out starting April classes and a monthly membership of $20, and you get all 4 classes plus the free classes that we have, like Coronation, all that stuff. That's going to leave our main page and be solely for Home Bakers Academy, and we're going to roll that out starting April 1st. This way we feel like now you get buy 3 get 1 free, and we're super excited, and we're super excited to reveal all our new classes because we're going to have so many. And then we're also, as time goes on, we're going to have guest classes with some guest instructors. Yeah. And this thing is just going to grow and grow and grow. And we are so excited that you guys. So have a non-April Fools, and we will reveal it April 1st. But you guys know first.
Cool.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for coming. I will put a picture of all these finished little goodies on the page. And if you have any questions or issues with your cookie decorating, always reach out. And Christy is, I don't know what's coming next. Oh, we have our Coronation, and then we'll come out with our new classes April 1st.
That's right.
All right.
All right.
Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we will see you tomorrow for another edition of Coronation. Super excited.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. There's a lot of colors.